Crypto winter is here. Crypto is dead. At least that is the narrative that the mainstream media is selling you right now. But what is actually happening? Does this current crypto bearish phase that we are in stack up with the previous crypto bearish phases, or are we looking at something fundamentally different? Has the market matured way beyond the kind of crashes that we saw of previous years? Well, in today's video, I want to break down that very topic for you. My name is Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing. So if that is a topic that you do appreciate learning about, you'd like to stay up to date with, a quick tap on the thumbs up button would go a long way to let me and YouTube know that you do appreciate this kind of content. By the way, every single week my team and I produce Wealth Mastery. This is a cryptocurrency investor report designed to help keep you ahead of the curve in this fast-moving market. In this week's issue, we have a deep dive report on Cardano's Sunday swap, an overview of the Phantom ecosystem, an interview with the Monkey Ball team, which is a hot Solana gaming coin, my thoughts on investing during this bearish period in the market, and of course, NFTs, portfolio updates, tips, tricks, news, much, much more. You can sign up for free using the link down below in the description and go premium if you like for less than $10 a week. Now let's go ahead and get into this topic here. So this is the mood right now. The sentiment in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to zero. This old guy, of course, yelling at people, telling them Bitcoin's going to zero. It's all over. That is what you will understand if you look at the mainstream media right now. Look at this. This is just, look at these articles here. Crypto winter is here. Investors fear crypto winter. What's a crypto winter? Crypto winter 2. When? How cold? How long? And on and on and on it goes. I mean, look at this. Come on, media. Come on. Come on. What is up with this? Of course, we know what's up with this. The media loves this kind of fear bait sort of stuff, so it's unsurprising. Obviously, the big media, all owned by the same big corporate interests that own everything at the end of the day. But what is actually going on? Is this crypto winter? Is this the start of a multi-year bear market? Just like what we saw back in 2018, where it was pain and gnashing of teeth and pulling of hair and all that kind of drama. I don't think so. I think we're in a fundamentally different phase. And I know this time is different is a not awesome thing to say, because this time is never really different, even though it is kind of different. But I feel like we are looking at a situation right now where we have the exponential growth, the kind of things that happened with the tech industry back in the early 2000s and the early 2010s. So yes, this time is different, but it's also kind of the same, because if you draw some parallels of adoption of what's going on in this industry, you will start to see that the crypto industry, we're not likely to repeat our 2018 scenario where nothing was built, it was all just a bunch of vaporware junk. We are actually seeing massive adoption happening right now for cryptocurrencies. This chart here, obviously I've shared it many times, I'm going to share it with you again. This is the adoption curve for cryptocurrency technology. So this was, we are here is actually back in 2021. Update that a little bit. We are here approximately 300 million users for crypto. By 2030, it is estimated we are going to have billions of users. 3.7 billion freaking users. 300 million to 3.7 billion in the next 8 years. You really think that the prices of these assets are not going to increase when we have another 3.4 billion people trying to get their hands on them? Look at the technology adoption curve. Look at the spreading network effects of these different cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and right on down the way. It is going crazy, man. This is just another way to look at the chart here from 100 to 300 million in a year. I mean, you got to think about how crazy that is. 200 million new people in a year in 2021 for crypto. And that's just going to keep increasing. Remember, 3.4 billion more people by 2030 is the estimate. That's insanity, absolute insanity. Now, how do we get such massive levels of user adoption for the cryptocurrency industry? Well, it is a very obvious picture, to me anyway, when you start to look at what has been happening. And I have been covering these kinds of stories literally for years, but I feel like over the last year we've had so many of them. It's absolutely insane. Retail adoption is starting to heat up in a very meaningful way. And look, stories like Tesla accepting Dogecoin for some of its merchandise get a lot of headlines, but the reality is that more and more stores are accepting cryptocurrencies all the time. We've had lots of little announcements from lesser known names accepting cryptocurrency payments. It's happening all over the place. And every shop, every business, every whatever that starts accepting cryptocurrencies normalizes this technology as a form of payments. So retail adoption is going to be a massive part of how we get those extra 3.4 billion users coming into the market. Fidelity also out here saying that more countries are going to buy Bitcoin. Obviously, El Salvador famously buying Bitcoin, buying the dips, talking trash on the IMF. I love it, by the way. Go El Salvador. Fidelity is saying we are going to see more countries buying Bitcoin. We have a few other big bank executives that have also come out saying, yes, more countries are going to buy Bitcoin. Is probably going to happen this year. Look to South America, look to Africa, and look to maybe some of the countries like Switzerland, for example. I'm really surprised actually that Switzerland hasn't bought Bitcoin yet for their central bank reserves. It would seem like an obvious country and an obvious choice, but we'll see more countries getting on the Bitcoin train. Early adopters are going to benefit the most. That Bitcoin that El Salvador has been buying is going to be worth billions someday. Absolute billions. It's crazy. We also see a wide range of banking adoption stories. Now, this is such a key part of the puzzle because if you want a market, a super cycle, something to continue for years and years and years, to bring 3.4 billion more people in, guess what? You got to make it easy for them to get involved. Right now, there's still a lot of hoops to jump through in a lot of countries for a lot of people. It's not that easy. But what we see all of the time, new banks offering Bitcoin services to their customers. Now, NYDIG, the New York Digital Investment Group, they've set the infrastructure in place for almost every single bank and credit union in the United States to be able to offer Bitcoin services to their customers. Banks are starting to take them up on that. This bank, Flushing Bank, they're taking them up on that, saying, yeah, actually, we'd like to start offering Bitcoin to our customers. I covered a story last week about 300 different U.S. banks that are planning on offering Bitcoin to their customers this year. The Union Bank in the Philippines, one of the biggest banks in the Philippines, has just announced that they're also going to start offering Bitcoin to their customers. This is how it happens. No bank is going to want to be left behind, which is why they're all going to freaking do it, because they all want to capture the revenue from all these people flooding into the cryptocurrency markets. Institutional demand, obviously, is still here. It's been a big part of the current cycle. Institutions flowing in, hedge funds, endowments, companies, all this stuff, family offices, etc., etc., etc. All the institutions are getting involved in crypto. Sovereign wealth funds. Can you believe that? Sovereign wealth funds, man, that is a crazy one. That's the investment arm of a country. So Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, their sovereign wealth funds have been investing in crypto. Massive stuff, right? Absolutely massive stuff. This will continue to drive huge chunks of cash just into the market, to be honest. We also see NFTs capturing public imagination. Google trends for NFTs have actually now surpassed those of just standard crypto searches. We see lots of celebrities getting into NFTs. I mean, right across the board, we have Jimmy Fallon, Paris Hilton, Eminem, Dave Chappelle, Snoop Dogg. Truckloads of other people have got on board the NFT train. It's capturing public imagination, digital collectibles on the blockchain. You can get profile pictures, you can get comic books, you can get all this kind of stuff. People are super into it. They love NFTs. It will be a massive red pilling moment for most people because if you want to claim your NFT and put it in your freaking wallet, guess what? You need to download a Polygon wallet, have some Matic tokens. You need to download an Ethereum wallet, have a little bit of Ethereum on it. And once you have got to that point, you go, wow, what else can I do while I'm here? I can play a game. I can lend out some stable coins. I can flip shit coins all day long. my new obsession. People are going to come into these markets, and this is going to be a red pill moment for them. We also have the number of active blockchain games doubling in the past year to almost 400. This is going to be thousands in the next few years. All of these games where you can literally come and play the game and make money, make free NFTs, get paid in-game currency that you can sell for actual cash. It's going to be such a massive thing. It's already a massive thing. We already see people in developing regions like the Philippines, for example, quitting their day jobs and playing video games all day because you can earn more playing the video game than you can by working a regular crappy job. Things are changing in a big and exciting way. Gaming is going to be another thing that brings in hundreds of millions of people into the cryptocurrency market. Remember, everything I've just talked about and will continue talking about, none of this was happening back in 2018. So anybody who's saying, look, 2018 bear market, it's about to repeat. This is, the beginning of the end. We're going to see everything go down by 99.99%. All the users are going to disappear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. None of this stuff is happening. Back in 2018, we mostly had Bitcoin, Ethereum with no real dApps working on top of it. No one was talking about NFTs. Nobody was doing yield farming. It didn't even start till 2020. None of this stuff even existed a couple years ago. It's so new. We're not going to have a 2018 repeat because what we have now in crypto is so fundamentally different. The market's so much bigger. There's actually stuff happening. Now, why are people freaking out? Of course, we have inflation rates up at 7% back in December. We have the Fed looking to raise interest rates starting in March, likely, probably going to happen multiple times this year. All this stuff scaring the equity markets, which is, of course, having contagion effect into crypto. But here's the reality, as Dan Tapiero points out. Right now, with inflation, with the basically non-existent interest rates, you're getting a negative 6.8% real yield. So when you're holding $1 in the bank account, minus 6.8% a year right now. And now look, they're not taking, 6.8 cents out of your bank account. That would, cause a rebellion. What they're doing instead is they're just decreasing the purchasing power of that dollar by 6.8%. Death by 1,000 cuts. That is the reality of inflation. And that's exactly what they are doing. Meanwhile, in crypto, you can get actual yield on your assets. Take your dollars out of the bank, bring them into crypto, put them in Celsius. You can earn 8.5% on USDC. Bring it into DeFi. You can easily find rates at 20, 30%, depending on your risk profile in DeFi. Who's staying in a bank account right now? It's crazy. It doesn't even make any sense at this point. Decentralized finance, total value locked, currently around $200 billion. Money in this market. None of this existed. Look at this. Total value locked back in 2018. Look at that. $286,000. We've gone from $200,000 in 2018 to $200 billion 4 years later. This number is only going to grow. The market is fundamentally different than it was back then. We also, of course, have $68 trillion of wealth in the greatest wealth transfer in history happening, where millennials are going to inherit $68 trillion. And look, millennials are interested in crypto, straight up. These people are going to buy Bitcoin, they're going to buy Ethereum, they're going to buy these other assets, they're going to buy NFTs with some of that $68 trillion inheritance. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely nuts, guys. Final point here, Dan Tapiero also pointing out massive generational wealth transfer beginning. Here's a simple chart to explain it all. Traditional portfolios, bonds and stocks. Millennial portfolios, Bitcoin and stocks. We have a flood of liquidity coming. $68 trillion is being handed over to millennials over the next decade or so. We have all of these institutions that don't have Bitcoin yet. If you have Bitcoin now, you have front-run 95% of the population and the vast majority of institutional players. Think about that for a second. Yes, we are in a bearish phase right now for crypto, but It is a fundamentally different bearish phase compared to what we have seen before. We'll see different sectors popping off at different times. There'll be dog coin season, there will be gaming coin season, there'll be layer 1 coin season, there'll be DeFi season. Things will go down, things will go up, but focus on the big picture here, what's actually happening. That adoption curve is the most important thing for you to understand as an investor. 3.4 billion more people coming into this market within the next 8 years. You guys don't have 8 years of your time to make life-changing intergenerational wealth for you and your family? What else are you doing for the next 8 years? Stick with it, get involved, be invested, figure out how to get an edge in this market, and look at the big gosh darn picture. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis for the day. You'll let me know your opinion on all of this down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.